Hey guys, Dougie, not at the Hardwood, at another super secret location. You might know where it is. Guess what tomorrow is? World Rum Day. So we're going to go over rum. I have a lot of rum, and this isn't even all that we have. We even have some off the camera, and we are going to do just rum drinks, and we're going to talk about rum, the selections for you for your home bar, and hopefully tomorrow, which is actual World Rum Day, July 11th, you guys will be able to celebrate in good form with great rum. And I want to say it is great to be back. The past two weeks, we haven't been in action. A lot has happened. Bars are shut back down, but smiles on our faces. We're excited that we have the opportunity to still bring back the virtual happy hour and be with you guys. So this is fueled by Ranch House Spirits. I want to thank them again. So again, another virtual happy hour fueled by Ranch House Spirits. And let's just go ahead and get right into it. So, rum. Before Americans drank whiskey, they drank rum. If you look at these old writings and stuff, they talk about our forefathers being in City Tavern in Pennsylvania, and they even write about how the City Tavern just reeked of rum. And rum that we know today, Americanized rum, like the Bacardis and things like that, yes, they are absolutely rum, but that is probably not the rums that they would be drinking back in the old days. So we do have a lot of different types of rum, and we have rums that are definitely what you would have drank in the past. Obviously, more modern style rums are going to be in the selection, and the drinks that we make are going to highlight a little bit of all types of eras. So first thing that you want to start off with is that you'll be most familiar with is going to be a proper white rum. So this is a clear white rum. This is Panama Pacific. This is Panamanian rum, made by one of the most respected rum makers in the world, Jose Fernandez. And this is aged for 3 years. A lot of people don't know this, but almost all rum is aged for about 3 years. And they just filter it and get it to that color. And then sometimes, I guess I'll just say that. So this is a great white rum. If you're just a big fan of just, that whole vodka element, and you just like a little bit more texture, a little bit more flavor, something with a little bit more body, this is going to be a great choice. This is our house selection at the Hardwood, and it's really hard to think of pulling any other bottle off the shelf to make you a beautiful cocktail where you just need that delicate presence of rum. Like a mojito would be great with this, and even if you're like a rum and Sprite kind of person, that's a great rum to do it with for sure. And so from there, we're going to move on to something with a little bit more expression, if you will. And then we're going to talk about a little bit of the aged rum. Clove, will you grab the J & Ray? So these rums are obviously have a little bit of age to them. This plantation double oat. Sweet. And this right here, it's a beautiful Jamaican rum. This is made by one of the most notable rum makers on the planet, Ray and Nephew. And this is going to be their aged rum. So this does have a little bit of extra age to it. This one is aged pretty hard. When you talk about a gold rum or you see like an amber rum, chances are it's the same thing as, this is a gold rum, but a little bit of age. Sometimes some people add food coloring and stuff to it. And we're going to go into vast and different, why there's so many different rules to rum. Or the lack thereof. But these are both aged a little while, but like the color in rum does not necessarily mean that it's aged for years and years and years. And that, again, we're going to go over that process in a little bit. So, before I move on, I'm going to go ahead and start making us a drink as well. And so I was thinking that we could go ahead and start off with a classic that we don't necessarily make at the Hardwood too much because of our dishwashing situation. But mojito. A mojito is a great way to try this white rum. And then we're going to talk, and I'll just start building that right now. And then what you're going to need for a mojito is for sure, you're going to need a sugar cube. Don't have my handy dandy sugar cube grabber. And then from there, you're going to just need a little bit of simple syrup. We're going to do a 1/4 ounce. And so I'm actually using pure cane sugar. Has a little bit more molasses content, not as refined. But if you guys have white sugar at home, definitely go for that. In some situations that you do want to just use refined white sugar because you just want the sensation of sweetness, not necessarily the flavors that come with the sugar. And then we are going to get our lime. freshly squeezed by our third man clover, double strained. We're going to do 3/4 ounces of your lime. Sweet. And we're going to do an ounce and 3/4 of the Panama Pacific, the white rum. And then we're going to use a beautiful clear rum. We're going to use a Jamaican overproof rum. And not just any Jamaican overproof rum. We're going to use Rum Bar. Rum Bar. When you hear about Jamaican rums, you always hear it referred to the funkiness of rum, like the Jamaican funk and the Jamaican rum funk that you always refer to. Like, this is what they're talking about when it comes to Jamaican rums. Like, the overproofs are like this, have this super molasses content. Feels like it's like a little, like when it was like a little bit over ripeness going on. But we're just gonna, and this is 126 proof, so 1/4 ounce is all you need. So the delicate rum of that Panama Pacific, this little bit of overproof, it's going to allow that all to permeate. So a little bit goes a long way, and it won't necessarily bring the proof up too high. And so from here, most important ingredient other than rum in a mojito, some fresh mint. We're going to do about 6 to 10 leaves. So I do not beat rum in my hand. There's a lot of essential oils that are lost in the bartender's hands. I feel like it should be with the guest the entire time. So that's why I don't do that. And also, even when you break it from the stem, you're bruising it. So you're actually creating a tremendous amount of expression from there. And it's like so fragrant already. If you beat it on your hand and then you put it in here and then you shake it over ice, you're abusing it to the point where it becomes vegetal. And when you pour it into the glass, it's no longer that bright, beautiful green that you're looking for. It's going to be more on the dark, like earthy tones, and it's going to translate into the flavor profile. That's something that I do, not too many other people. I don't know of too many other bartenders that do that. So if you like to beat it in your hand and stuff, go for it. A little bit of pebble ice. Get it from your local, what do we call those things? Fast food joint. Sonic. All right. And so you don't even have to muddle that. I guess you could have muddled that sugar cube. Now thinking about it, but it was sitting in that liquid so long, it's going to break up pretty well. So just lightly shaking it. And like I said, right now that mint is starting to express itself, starting to just permeate the entire drink. I can smell it from here. Getting super cold. Pretty much just trying to get it just as cold as possible with as little time as possible. Yeah. Just pour it right into a Collins glass. Or this is actually a highball glass. Will you grab me a ice scoop? Thank you, sir. Top it off with ice. And then from here, we're going to use a tool called a swizzle stick. This comes from the Caribbean. It grows off a tree nicknamed the swizzle stick tree. I actually don't even know what the real name of it is. It's not the actual name of the tree. But yeah, that's how it actually grows off the tree. In the old days, they used to put bark. They used to keep the bark on it to help it like flavor the cocktail, but for some reason that's just not part of the thing anymore. So I can see a little bit of that sugar left. I guess we could have just muddled it a little bit more, but it will dissolve more while this drink melts away. Texture a little more profile with every sip. But this drink's gonna go by. It's probably gonna go away pretty quick. So right now we're just giving it some extra dilution and chilling that glass. That pebble ice produces more, it covers more surface area, so it allows the drink to get colder. Thank you, sir. Colder longer, lasts longer. Top it off some more crushed ice. Give this bad boy a garnish of some beautiful mint. Again, don't express it in your hand, just want the guest to have all of that. Eco-friendly paper straw. Boom. And that's mojito. Actually, I think it needs a little bit of pimento bitters. Just give it a little bit more color. But that is actually really pretty, like that. And guys, no other than Morgan, a.k.a. Morgan the Grouch, is here with us today.
Hey, what's up?
And Morgan, why don't you tell us a little bit about that mojito, man?
Oh, you put me on the spot here. Nice, light, refreshing. Mint is just where it needs to be. Not overly sweet. The bitters was a nice touch there too.
Nice. It's cool. Mojito.
Straw taste. Whatever. I'll get out of the way.
Yeah. We some straw taste straws. We can get those too for sure. So, rum. Again, one of the oldest drinks, America's drink. That's what Americans drank. That's what Americans drink now. Has Morgan and I are talking about. There's a lot of things we're going to tip. There's a lot of tiptoeing around the rum industry because it has deep roots and just some really bad things. But of course, there's things that are out of our control. But we do celebrate the craft and the beauty of these bottles. So from the first rum that we tried to the very last rum we try, none of them are going to be the same whatsoever. Like in whiskey and things like that, yeah, if you're a whiskey fan, you're going to notice different things here and there, like some nuances. But when it comes to rum, try Panama Pacific and then going all the way down to a rum agricole, or even to like an overproof rum, or into like a Charanda or something like that, which we're about to talk about in a little bit, they are vastly different. So you can try a daiquiri made with a clear rum, with two clear rums, and they'll both just, one will be clean and crisp, the other will be well-rounded, or the other one will be just straight up funky. And so, yeah, that's why we love rum so much. It's just so much history, so much passion, and the stories that we're going to share along through this happy hour, you'll even, hopefully you'll take a little bit away, and you'll be a big rum fan like the rest of us. I'm so into rum. I was thinking about how much I love rum the other day that I almost cried. I like rum more than most people. I was just telling Clover this. I'm just like, man, I freaking love rum. And also, again, that 2-week break, sorry if I'm speaking a little bit fast. It's just actually wonderful to be back, and I missed you guys. I love y'all so much. Again, the bar's not operating right now, but next week we're starting to do our to-go food, and we're going to deliver everywhere. We'll even deliver to Austin. We don't care. We want you guys to try our exceptional food. We have a line cook that said something wonderful last time. He goes, it's just an opportunity for people to know more than our great drinks. They're going to know about our exceptional food, so that's pretty exciting. And we'll be doing all online orders and over the phone, and you can pick it up or we'll deliver. And yeah, more to come on that. So what do we stop at? We talked about a little bit of overproof rum, and then we talked about some aged rum. This is a beautiful this is a great example about how color doesn't mean age in rum. Smith & Cross, one of my favorite rums. This makes for brilliant cocktails. We have our house Cuba Libre, and one of the secrets. Part of our rum blend for our Cuba Libre is actually Smith & Cross. So Smith & Cross, it's aged for 3 years. As you can see, aged 3 years, aged for 3 years. But they take something, after the distillation of rum, everything that's left over in the pot stills is referred to as dunder. And dunder is like essentially leftover molasses. It has a tremendous amount of flavor left over. So they'll take parts of that dunder and add it back into the distillate to give it some more depth of flavor and also create that gorgeous color. So with that said, I'm going to make us Cuba Libre. We love Cuba Libres. I'm so obsessed with the Cuba Libre that I took time and effort. I worked on it for months. And so I came up with essentially with a daiquiri variation. And I did it for the Cuba Libre. I was like, man, I want to use Coca-Cola as an ingredient, not as a cover-up. So let's go ahead and do that. And then after that, we'll even move on a little bit farther. What's that? It is in the walk-in. Yeah, we got a walk-in cooler, no big deal. Moving on up during this downtime. Shakers. So we're going to use a house-made Demerara syrup. I haven't necessarily got my sense of taste. Sense of smell back, Clover. Will you tell me, I can't tell in this light, is this the Dim or the Grenadine? Yeah, that's the Dim.
Yes, okay,
cool. Thanks, sir. So if y'all watched about our happy hour about the Cuba Libre, or if you went to our YouTube channel and watched our video about our Cuba Libre, you know that we actually typically use the smaller cans of Coca-Cola, so less waste and stays fresher longer, but we're using 12 ounce. So y'all do so at home if you'd like. All right, so we're going to do 1/4 ounce of Demerara, not much. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. Demerara sugar is not as processed. Comes from the Demerara region of Guyana, typically, or that's where the breed of sugarcane comes from, I suppose. And has a tremendous amount of molasses in it, so it has super deep, complex flavors that you wouldn't necessarily find in sugars that you find at the grocery store around here, especially like table sugars that have virtually no taste. They're just sweet. So great way to expand your cocktail. Yeah, so from there we're going to do our lime juice. We're going to do 3/4 ounce. So we actually have our first secret weapon. This is our spice rum that we make in-house. So don't even worry about it. I'm not telling you. We don't make the rum, but we definitely spice it. So that's 1 ounce of house spiced rum. Use any spiced rum you can. You're at home. Captain Morgan, if you can't get anything better than that. Bounty spiced rum is my personal favorite for the price, so I recommend that. That is definitely available in the Austin area. And it's been down here at Ranch House a few times, so I'm sure we'll get it back there soon. And of course, my favorite Jamaican rum, Smith & Cross, available at Ranch House Spirits for sure. Get that right there. Alright, then we're going to use our shake ice. Please don't use the ice out of your refrigerator. Go to your local fast food joint. McDonald's actually has quite exceptional ice for shaking. It's $1 a bag, and it's going to take care. It's going to be a better way to drink for sure. So it's pretty cold, so we're going to do probably about 6 to 10 seconds, depending on temp. Shake like nobody's watching. Woo, stuck to my hand. So cold. All right, double strain. You can, of course, double strain into your glass if you'd like. The reason I don't, just it's less of a mess this way. Then we're going to get another highball glass. And we're going to go ahead and put fresh ice into it. This drink isn't served with a straw. So we double strained it to pour it back over ice, but we don't want a bunch of ice shards just hitting you in the lip. So this one, and also we still are using that shake ice. We usually would have a Collins cube that would fill this whole thing up, and we'd spin it to chill the glass. But we're trying to do a lot of cocktails right now, so we're kind of just blasting through this. All right, so we're going to pour our drink over the ice, of course. Man. Just top it off with Coke, leave a little bit of wash line. Again, you don't need much. We're using Coca-Cola as an ingredient, not as a cover-up. So it's not going to be like a 1-to-1 ratio. Look at the head on that. It's so freaking pretty. And so, yeah, let me have one of those tasting straws, brother. Thank you, sir. That's the damn thing. Clover, enjoy it, man.
Thank you very much.
Just tell us about it.
So yeah, that was the perfect amount of Coke. It definitely did not cover up any of the rum. I get plenty of the funk from that Smith & Cross, from that Jamaican rum. It's great. And then the spice rum comes through. It doesn't battle the Smith & Cross at all.
Sweet.
I like that.
Cool, man. Yeah. So, yeah, when the hardwood's back up and running, come get a Cuba Libre. We're going to be doing to-go cocktails, apparently. Pretty excited about that. So, yeah, again, so we're actually going to keep on moving over to this side. So, great thing about rums, obviously you can use all different types of ingredients. But there are some drinks that it's really just about the rum. There's an island at the bottom of the Caribbean chain called Martinique. Martinique is known for something called rum agricole. Rum agricole is an AOC, which essentially just means kind of like champagne. It has to be made in the region of Champagne. Like rum agricole has to be made on the island of Martinique. It is typically made from freshly squeezed cane juice. Well, it always is made from freshly squeezed cane juice, excuse me. And then from there, they can age it or do whatever they want. My favorites are just distilled and put into the bottle for the most part. So there's all different types of brands of rum agricole. They're going to be grassy. They're going to be fresh. It's going to have these earthy tones that we always refer to. And we also refer to it has a lot of funk. I would even say like overripened banana for most part. Sometimes I talk about rum agricole and people just don't understand the flavors that I'm trying to describe. So I'll be like, do you like blue cheese? And they're like, well, yeah. I'm like, it doesn't taste like blue cheese, but I have a feeling if you like something that extreme in profile, you would like a rum agricole. So there is the national drink of Martinique is called the tea punch, and it's tea punch, but tea punch is how they say it, tea punch. And it's T-I, next word, P-U-N-C-H. It is the most simple of drinks, but yet one of my most favorite. I tried to make it live one time, and I just blew it because I didn't have all my tools. And guess what? I don't have my tools again. Will you please go get me? It wouldn't be a virtual happy hour with us if we didn't have it all together. You please give me a cutting board and knife.
Sure can.
This is awesome. So, need a cutting board and knife for this one. So I want to give a shout out to Robert Wood. This is one of his favorite drinks. He helped me out so much with getting me in touch. He's with certain people to help me get the bar up and running a few months ago, and I'm going to make this drink in his honor. Now, he even gave me a bottle of Martinique sugarcane syrup. I used it all. So we're just going to use pure cane sugar for this one. But this one is not, I wouldn't necessarily give this drink to somebody who is not a big drinker. You have to be a pretty big fan of booze in general, but just like appreciating the flavors of booze. Not just getting drunk, but just like the actual experience that's happening in your mouth. So there's all different types. So this is a proper rum agricole, the cane. This is from the island of Martinique. Will you grab me that rum jam out of the fridge? Yep. Yes, sir. Beautiful. Thanks, sir. And this is one of my favorite rum agricoles. This is rum jam. These are both made on the island of Martinique. These are very young. This one has a little bit more smoke to it. This one has more of that funk I was talking about. It's not as aggressive as you would think. It's really quite pleasant. But there are other spirits that are made in the same fashion of rum agricole, but they're not made in Martinique, so they have different profiles, different terroirs. Terroirs meaning the characters that they get strictly from the land and climate that they're grown on. So this is going to be Europan. This is a Charanda Blanco. They don't refer to it as rum. They refer to it as Charanda. This is made in Mexico. This is their expression of agricole, essentially. And then my favorite rum, probably ever, and I think Morgan can have my back on this, is Paranubes. This is a Oaxacan. This is from Oaxaca. It's aguardiente de caña. This is freshly squeezed cane juice. Distill it, and this has some of the most pronounced flavors and profiles that I've ever had the pleasure of trying. And it is something that I'm really excited to have in the bar. It's something I'm very passionate about. When I drink my daiquiris, they're with Paranubes typically. And so it's nice to have it. But for the honor to be traditional and to just really dive into as proper of a tea punch as we can, we're actually going to use one of these two. As a matter of fact, we're going to use rum jam. So let's get these guys out of the way. Rum agricole. So can you buy bottles online now for Texas?
That I don't know.
I feel like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I got a bottle of something, I bought it on the internet. And I'm like, damn, that's great to know.
Though, yeah, the rules might have changed. I need to look into that.
Okie dokie. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a fresh lime. Give that a little bit of a cut. Just need a half of one. A lot of people, I've seen it made so many ways. Some people use like even key limes. They'll just go squeeze a small half of the key lime into this process. I like it a little bit more lime forward. So we use 3 wedges. Really, I mean, it's like really to your liking. get yourself a glass. You're gonna go ahead and put it in there. And we're gonna do a 1/4 ounce of our house-made, pure cane sugar. This is a 1-to-1 ratio. There's gonna be a lot of sweetness coming from that lime. From that from the rum. So you really don't need too much. So pure cane sugar. Again, there is a bottle that you can get online. It is what can I think of? Syrup de Cannes. Syrup de Cannes.
Yeah,
it's made now in Martinique. It's made of Martinique sugar cane. So if you can get your hands on that, make a proper tea punch with that. And then so we're gonna do a 1/4 ounce of this cane sugar. Just put it right over those limes. And get yourself a muddler. And be pleasant. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to like bring the bitterness out of that pith of the lime. It will just totally bitter up your cocktail, and that's the last thing you want to do. So from here, we're going to make this pretty boozy. We're just going to do, I think it's an 80 proof. Yeah, this is 80 proof, so we're going to do 2 ounces. So rum agricoles can get super high in proof, or rum agricole styles. This is 100 proof. Paranubas is 114. Or 108. Excuse me. What was that?
No, Smith & Cross.
Oh, no! Off to the game. 2 ounces. Man, I cannot believe that Smith & Cross just said goodbye. That is the worst thing to happen during this pandemic.
I'm not even going to
I take that back. That is a, I shouldn't have said that. That's a bold-faced lie. Much worse than that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a tragedy.
I know. I was sick. I got pretty sick there for a little bit. I've been freaking quarantined for 2 weeks. Thank you, Clover. Well, hey, at least you get to smell the expression of proper Jamaican funk for the rest of this experience.
A bit heartbroken.
Oh, I love you, Smith & Cross. I love you so much.
Fun fact: glass is sharp.
Glass is sharp. So from here, honestly, this could technically this is it. Like a lot of the stories I've read and a lot of the people I've known. I've been to Martinique. I have not been there. We could be one of those mixing spoons. They would leave it at this. They would just hand it over to you like this and be like, "This is how we drink tea punch." Thanks, sir. But we're not doing that. We're gonna put some ice in this bad boy. Not much. So that's like a little bit of ice right there. Just giving it some dilution. I've had it a few times where it's like packed with crushed ice and served with a straw. I'm not into that. I like it more like this. Hey man, like you said, we're kind of getting our groove back. Just kind of just letting things happen. Sometimes you just gotta break a little. You gotta sacrifice a bottle to the to the drunken gods. So I mean, my bad. That's to you guys, to the drunken gods. We love you. Thanks for keeping an eye on us, and thank you for letting us be back here to frickin' worship and the Church of Drunk. All right, so this one's for me. Woo boy, that's so freaking cool. Like that's like gonna be. Are you bleeding pretty bad?
No, I just pricked the tip of my finger.
Sorry.
It's a funny word.
Prick. So I'm going to talk about this one. So if you're a Mescal fan, you might find some favor in this one. Go ahead. You might find favor in this one because it does have a nice smoky element to it, in a sense. But that terroir is deep, robust, rounded, grassy, ripe. That's so nice. Our word to you. Cheers. It's just going to be tart, touch of sweetness, and of course, all those punches to the face in the best of ways with that rum agricole.
You have to be about your rum for that one.
This is for rum fans. Like, this is for rum drinkers. And then I read something that apparently the telltale sign of somebody's a true alcoholic is if their spirit of choice is strictly rum. Mine is not strictly rum. They're concrete floors. You don't have to do that. Not yet. We'll do it later. And so, like, My rum of choice is rum. I love rum. I love it. I love rum and I love sake. And I cannot wait to talk more about both of them. But let's talk more about rum. So rum, there's a really controversial take on this, but there's a really great seminar from the guys that do from some guys from the Ministry of Rum, and Martin Cate from Smuggler's Cove, who is pretty much wrote the magnum opus for tiki. If you guys don't have Smuggler's Cove and you want to learn about rum, get yourself this book. Wonderful recipes. Great way to start your rum experience at home or anywhere. And so this is they do these great seminars, and they get together and I just talk about the history of rum. And something that's fascinating is things such as sugarcane, how it even got to South America, and a lot pretty much points back to Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus' wife, her family was wealthy from sugarcane. They owned sugarcane fields, and they just produced sugarcane and sold it across Europe. And so when they decided to take their voyage, that was pretty much funded by his in-laws. When he was funding this voyage, they just put a tremendous amount of sugarcane on his ship, and they would stop at islands on the way over here, and they would plant citrus trees, and they would plant sugarcane. And they got the sugarcane all the way over here, and that's where sugarcane was introduced to regions, especially in Brazil. And Brazil actually started making cachaça, or it wasn't called cachaça at the time, but that's like where they think rum really got its grasp, its foothold. And then it was introduced into Barbados, or the Caribbean. Barbados claims that they are the creators of rum. I don't know. I'll let them have it. I wasn't there, but maybe they did. Maybe they produced the very first rum, that wasn't cachaça, that wasn't something else or whatever. Like, they just referred to it as rum. And that's going to lead us into another drink. And one of my favorite drinks ever. The most important drink to a bartender. You know what? I want to do a tiki drink next. Don't we want to do a tiki drink?
Always.
Campari? Should we do a Jungle Bird?
Yeah.
Let's do a Jungle Bird. We go grab Campari.
Yeah.
You know where it is?
It's not on the back bar, is it?
It might be under the bar.
So while we're talking about a little bit the history of it, it's worth noting that in Brazil, the cachaça is made specifically with fresh sugarcane juice, much like the rum agricoles.
Yeah.
Whereas rum would be made from molasses.
Yeah.
Barbados, what they would call rum would be molasses.
Indeed.
Which was just actually a byproduct that was considered useless before that.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, they say that it was just sitting around in these vats, whatever, for storage, and then naturally would ferment, and then one thing leads to another. Most alcohol, they say, was discovered by accident. So, or I don't know how distillation could have been an accident.
Fermentation, yeah, that could definitely accidentally happen. But distillation, you kind of have to be doing something. And also, fun little side bit of trivia. There are records of sugarcane being used as a fermentable as far back as 450 BC.
Damn.
Yeah, apparently it was in India. They would ferment sugarcane. It was used in medicine and for religious practices.
Exciting. That's very cool.
Some useless trivia.
Yeah. So, we're going to do Jungle Bird. So if you go over to our YouTube channel, just search Doug Blank. We do videos on we always upload our virtual happy hour there, but also we make videos and edit them as best as we can and teach y'all how to make drinks at home and our renditions and the way we think that these drinks are the best for what we got. So, the latest one that we did is about the Jungle Bird, made in Kuala Lumpur at the Hilton at the Hilton in Kuala Lumpur in the late 70s. And I don't know the name of the actual creator. I don't know if that's actually set in stone or not. But it's one of my favorite drinks. And I am so excited to make it for you guys right now. And so first thing that we're going to need is the Demerara sugar that we celebrated earlier with our Cuba Libre. I'm going to do a 1/4 ounce of this. So it's 2-to-1 ratio. 2 parts sugar to 1 part water. So you don't need as much as you would think. And then from here, we're going to use freshly squeezed lime juice again. R.I.P. Smith and Cross. You were good to me. Just got that damn bottle. I just got that bottle. I feel like I'm just going to go home and just like sit there and be like, I can't believe I just broke a bottle of Smith and Cross the day before World Rum Day.
Well, if there's an upside, the room smells awesome now.
Heck yeah. Ounce and a half freshly squeezed pineapple juice. If you can't press your own pineapple juice at home, go to your local grocery store and get the cold pressed pineapple juice. Try your best not to use it as a can, but if you can't get freshly pressed, cold pressed pineapple juice, use a can. That's fine. Try your best not to. Alright, so really fun thing about this drink is an element called Campari. This Amaro comes from Italy. It's bitter. It's scarlet, beautiful in color. It has vanilla, cardamom, orange peel, bitter orange peel. More citrus. Has a little bit of anise, of course. Has all kinds of just like herbs and everything going on there. So you're gonna do a 3/4 ounce of that. And so there's Jamaican pot still rum that we were talking about earlier. One of my other favorites is Jamaican pot still black. It's a black strap rum that you always hear about. We use Ed Hamilton's. Do I have it right here? No, but we have some Jamaican pot still. But the thing that's really fun about this one, I'm excited. I took some Jamaican pot still rum and I toasted some macadamia nuts and I let it steep over, or just let it chill overnight. Because it has a tremendous amount of nuttiness to it, and just burnt sugars and these like molasses tones. And I was like, man, I just really love the nuttiness of this rum, so I just kind of enhanced it by adding some macadamia nut to it and just straighten it out. We're just gonna do 1.5 ounces of that. So this is definitely a boozy drink. Oh my gosh. Damn. Cool. Alright, so a little bit of shake ice, a little bit of pebble ice, get some agitation going. And what better thing to use the Jungle Bird for? Jesus, Doug! Again, been in my house for 2 weeks, not used to things. And I was sober the whole time. Learned a lot about myself. This is a tiki mug that comes from Mondo. My cousin Joseph bought it for me for my birthday. And it's Scrooge McDuck. Isn't that awesome? Where's Douglas at? I was going to use Douglas. Everybody knows Douglas. But I figured we'd use Scrooge McDuck instead. Alright, so let's shake for about, 1,000 seconds apparently. Typically 10 to 15 seconds will do the trick. Oh yeah. This is going to be freaking awesome. Alright, I'm going to pack this with crushed ice. Sweet. Alright, and so for this guy, I think we should set it on fire.
Oh yeah, why not?
That's what I'm talking about.
That's an option. Go for it.
Heck yeah, always an option. Alright, so you're going to do a lime husk. As you can see in the video, we do this in the video. This drink doesn't call for this garnish like traditionally, but we just want to set stuff on fire. And then, also with that said, please do not do this at home. Let professionals do it. I am barely a professional, I feel, at times. But we're using overproof rum. It's good. This is a good reason for us to talk about overproof rum. Overproof rum. This is from Ed Hamilton, the same rum that's in this badass glass. The Jamaican pot still is made by the same guy. Highly respect the Rum Ministry. I think he might be one of the reasons Rum Ministry even exists. If you ever go to the rumministry.com, you can read a lot about Ed Hamilton and also just about rums in general. You can even search rums and cocktails on there. It's a great source for all your rum needs. So I highly suggest taking some time and going to rumministry.com and learning about all of these rums, of course. But 151 is obviously an overproof rum. highly flammable. This is dangerous. But with that said, overproof rum extracts more flavors because it has higher alcohol content, so it's pulling more from the actual produce that is being distilled, in this case, sugarcane. So we're going to have a lot of super deep flavors. It's actually really dark rum, super pronounced. It doesn't even smell like too much like alcohol. It actually smells more like sugar, like brown sugar or molasses. Okay, gonna get this bad boy going. Yeah, don't do this at home. Did it work?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Camera. Yep.
What did I do with my grater? This is turning into a freaking nightmare.
Did we bring it up?
I didn't. So, I don't know if you can see it burning, but it looks freaking awesome. It kind of looks like that sugar's turned into a tater tot. So, like, okay, another thing is, from here, never add alcohol to that. It will, never add alcohol to a flame. It will just catch into the bottle, Molotov cocktail. You don't want that. You want to always do it like this. This looks great. I am so excited. Could have swore about that microplane over here.
I did not see it.
Yeah, so you always want to make sure you're prepared as well. You don't want to necessarily have things just burning on your bar top. That was incredible. I knew it was going to be fun. I was like, I'm not going to use a regular one. I'm going to use a freaking blowtorch.
Nice fireball.
I knew something was going to happen. I was like, oh, this is kind of nerve wracking. So yeah, so you don't want to do that at your bar because you're going to set somebody's face on fire.
Unless it's just that kind of bar, then whatever.
So actually, something that's really happening here is like we put that little bit of sugar in there. We're actually toasting the sugar, and we're burning off the alcohol of that 151 proof rum. You know what? We're just going to have to light another cocktail on fire and we want to do some nutmeg over the top, but I forgot my microplane. I could have swore I had it, but what do I know? Yeah, again, forgive me, guys. Just getting back in the groove. Breaking bottles. Forgetting stuff. What's new, right?
Yeah, there's going to be broken glass in here for a while.
Yes, my man. So, thank you. So from here, you take some freshly grated nutmeg, and you let the microplane do the work. So it's toast that nutmeg, and it's got a little bit of flame and action. That flame was so high. All right, and so from here, give your sacrifice to the drunken gods by clapping that bad boy out. Okay, so from here, you're just going to turn it over into the ice. Melt that ice down. Get that sugar cube just smashed in there. Let's garnish the crap out of this thing. Some fresh mint. Maybe some orange pills.
We got some fronds right there too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. One of those toothpicks that's knocked over. Because why not? Fuck. Fudge. Start that over. Dude, I'm like missing the mark on everything today. It's just, what can you do? 6 inches up, 3 inches back. A little bit of lemon. Lemon's always nice on everything. Another orange pill, because I dropped the other one. Wrap that bad boy up tight. Pierce it in, what's it called? Toothpick? For the sake of color. Maybe a little bit of lime.
You are going all out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Half a tiki is just about the garnish.
Oh, yeah. Let's say more of a third. So if you looked at old school tiki mugs weren't a thing until Trader Vic really brought that in, and that wasn't even in the 30s or even the 40s. He did that more towards like the 50s and stuff. And then, he really didn't even do it either. Like can't remember the gentleman's name,
Dave
but
the Beachcomber?
no, Don the Beachcomber. And Don the Beachcomber didn't do giant, like tremendous garnishes either. They actually have quite elegant glassware. But tiki mugs were like brought in, like tiki palaces kind of became a thing. I cannot remember the gentleman, Steven something. But anyways, he came up with. So some straws. Swizzle stick. All right, guys. Jungle Bird, Scrooge McDuck. Tell us about it.
Lead the way, man.
I did a disservice. I didn't see the color of the cocktail. It's a beautiful drink.
Oh, wow. I was really expecting because I'm used to Campari really taking over, especially with the 3/4 of an ounce.
Yeah.
But it's perfectly blended. That's a new one for me.
Yeah, it's nicely in the mix.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a here. Let me taste that
Oh,
guy.
yeah, that's good. That's my first Jungle Bird, though.
You definitely get that kind of
That
caramely nuttiness in it.
Yeah.
That macadamia nut infused black strap rum is just
There
like
it is. Yeah,
blasting through it.
it really is.
It's actually quite bitter. I would cut back on that Campari, but there's also something that we use in that drink called Cochinilla, like Alchemez or Alchemez. What did we say it was called? From Heirloom brand, and you watch that video, it's in there as well. But that has only half ounce of the bitter Amaro. This is great. How exciting! So the next drink that we're gonna make. If you know me, you know that one of my heroes, somebody I really look up to, and not necessarily for his writing, but for his lifestyle, is Ernest Hemingway. Ernest Hemingway. And I feel like that is not just to me. I think it's any career bartender respects Ernest Hemingway as an icon in the bar world. And it wasn't necessarily that he was like an amazing bartender or what some would refer to as a mixologist. He just knew how to drink and he liked to drink. And there's an amazing podcast that I just recommended for Clover and Morgan to listen to for this. It's called Bar None. And it is fantastic. It's spectacular. If you guys ever want to dig into the history of cocktails and listen to it and be entertained and to like a well-produced podcast, check it out. And especially The Old Man and the Sea is about Hemingway's relationship with the daiquiri in La Floridita. If you go to my YouTube channel and you watch one of my first cocktail tutorials, it is about La Floridita number 3, which was created at the La Floridita by the king of all cocktails. What is his name again? I apologize.
Yes.
Say it again?
Vincente?
Yep. And so he is like known for being like this like drink smith and just so passionate. He didn't even drink much. And you always hear about him in the bar world, like especially with career bartenders. His name's always brought up. And he was notorious for or not notorious in the sense that in a bad way, he was famous for his craft. He even grew his own limes. He has his own lime grove. And so he was so passionate about these drinks, but he wasn't about the flair of and celebrity. He was more just about perfecting a craft, which I absolutely love. And it's something that's really important to me as a bartender and a bar owner. And so he created the La Floridita Daiquiri number 3. And apparently Ernest Hemingway came in, fell in love with the drink. It was actually a frozen drink. He blended it with snow ice, and it would be a frothy, icy drink that he poured into a chilled coupe, and then he would hand it over to his guest. Hemingway said, I can do it better. And Hemingway was not known for being a good bartender. He was actually known just for being a heavy drinker. So Hemingway was notorious for not liking sweet, and he was notorious for, and I mean notorious by definition, and he was notorious for how much he drank and how strong he drank his drinks. So recipes have kind of been lost in the mix, so we're going to do our version of the Hemingway Daiquiri, which is La Floridita number 3, and I hope that it is well received by all of you. And we're going to go ahead and start now. Most important things you need are going to be everything but show you. No, I said it like that. So we're going to go ahead and good thing we didn't spit across for this one.
Is that our last smoothie cross?
It's not, but we don't need it right now. I was going to do the Cuba Libre. We did it. So maraschino liqueur, Luxardo, wonderful brand. This is going to be our sweetened element. it has this. I talked about this in the video that we made. It has a spiciness to it, but it's not going to be spicy. So we're gonna do 1/2 ounce of it. We're gonna do freshly squeezed lime juice again, and we're gonna do 1/2 ounce. And then we're going to take freshly squeezed grapefruit juice. We're going to do a whole ounce of freshly squeezed grapefruit juice. So, we're going to probably, I've seen this recipe used with all different types of rums and things, but we're going to use Panama Pacific again. Again, available at Ranch House Spirits. We're going to do 1.5 ounces. Pour it there. And then we're going to use, is there rum fire in there? Yes! One of my favorite rums. This is a Jamaican rum called Rum Fire. This is another overproof rum. If you've drank with me and you had something out of my personal collection, chances are you've had Rum Fire. Do not let the label deceive you. This is one of the best rums you can get your hands on. It is robust, well-rounded, funky, just full of life. Oh my God. So we're going to do 1/2 ounce of that. I mean 1/4 ounce. Do it 1/4 ounce. This is 126 proof. You know? So, well, yeah, I mean, it's going to permeate that is like so well. Again, overproof rums have a tremendous amount more flavors. So it's going to permeate. Okay, and so will you put this back in the fridge and grab me a chilled coupe? Mm-hmm. All right, so we're not going to we're going to use handcrafted Klein Bell style ice that we always brag that everybody knows that we have with the hardwood. Let's shake this drink. So this is very special ice, super dense. Clear, no sediment, no air molecules in there, so it's not going to over dilute our cocktail. We're going to have as much control of it as possible. It's going to be loud. We're going to do 3 points of contact shake, so we're properly aerating all these beautiful ingredients so we can make sure that we're handing over the best cocktail we could possibly make. Because again, this is 2 legends are involved in this drink, so we never want to disrespect it. All right, here we go. Shake like nobody's watching. Man, love this drink so much. Double strain. Man, that is beautiful. All right. Get that libation around to that glass. So, if you watched that video, what the frick? There's been a little bit of dirt on that ice. Whoopsie. So, if you watch that video, I refer to how I don't like, especially when I do like a nice, beautiful, neat cocktail like this, I don't necessarily like garnishes in there because I don't want to bang against your lip. You spend all that time and effort to create that velvety, smooth texture and like make sure you're controlling the experience of the cocktail all the way to the mouthfeel. You don't want like a lime wheel or a rind just hitting you on the lip, but I think it could be brightened up a little bit more because it has that bitter grapefruit in there. So we're just going to use a lemon twist, 6 inches up, 3 inches back. The lighter oils are going to spray forward, going to be sweeter, more fragrant. The bitter oils that we don't want necessarily to be a part of this drink because, again, we already have bitterant from the grapefruit in there. We want that to fall backwards. So 6 inches up, 3 inches back. This express. Just help out. Get over there. Sometimes you see the bartenders will actually touch the glass or whatever, but the bitterant is right there, so you don't want to necessarily put that on the glass either. Discard, and that is a beautiful Hemingway daiquiri with a great wash line and a perfect head. Here you go, boys. Why don't you give that a try?
Nice play between the grapefruit, just that hint of maraschino. Rum still comes through nicely.
It's not as dry as I was expecting.
No, yeah, that
That's
maraschino.
perfect. Yeah.
The maraschino actually has some sweetness to it.
Oh yeah.
So
You don't really notice the maraschino being sweet, like if you take a sip of it by itself, but once mixed with something else, it really.
it has a radish element to it. It has a spiciness to it, like a tinge. That's why it's like like the way wasabi feels on your tongue.
Yeah.
It's like something like that playing on there. People think I'm crazy when I say that, but it's freaking there.
To me, it's always been a cherry and bubblegum kind of
There
flavor.
you
A
go.
lot of other cocktails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never got bubblegum before, but
It's not like a heavy thing. Like it's kind of in the background for me.
more of a suggestion.
Yeah.
So there's 2 more drinks we want to do. We're going to go a little bit over an hour on this one. Sorry, guys. I mean, I hope you're still watching. Thank y'all so much for watching. It means the world. But thank you. Again, just getting the creeks out. Just re-stretching, man. We're back now. Every Friday, we are back. That 2-week break was killing me. I miss y'all so much. Please, people, we need your money. We are shut back down. So please fund this virtual happy hour like you have been. And Venmo us at Doug Blank. We appreciate everything. We just want to keep this going. Ranch House Spirits is sponsoring this, and we are so grateful for them. We couldn't have any of these beautiful bottles on this bar top if it wasn't for them. So, please, check it out. Some other rums that you can find at Ranch House Spirits. Pussers. You can absolutely find Duquesne. You can find the Charanda that we haven't talked about yet, which is a Mexican distillate. If you like tequila, if you like mezcals, you'd be a big fan of the Charanda. Some more overproof. Like everything here, you can just find. Cuero has one of the best liquor selections in Texas now, and it is because of Ranch House Spirits. We have the most fantastic bottles made with the most respect and the most dignity in the entire rum, bourbon, any game that we will, even the vodka game, we have stuff coming here that is just highly respected and world class. Not because it is like boutique, but because there's people that put their heart and souls into it. They don't have the huge marketing dollars from like Smirnoff or Bacardi. Granted, if all you can get is Bacardi, drink Bacardi. But here's the thing: if you can support smaller brands with more history and more earth and more life, please do. World Rum Day is tomorrow. It is a big deal to me, and I hope that you guys can appreciate my love for rum, and I hope that it is going through this phone right now and this camera into your hearts, and that you guys will learn to love rum as much as I do. I feel like rum is something that is proper Americana. I think it is something that brings people together. I feel like the expressions of rum and the vast differences between rum A to rum Z expresses humanity as a whole. Everyone is a rum, but everyone is so different, and it all loved. I love rum. I just love it. Anyways, so let's keep going. The way you're looking at me, I felt like I should have finished that. I should have done that. That was so good. So if a drink serves you in a coupe, though, just so you know, like a martini, a champagne, a daiquiri, an El Presidente, a brandy crusta, sidecar. They're intended to be drank quickly. Just keep that in mind. This is not a coupe. Why until I say what to do with this one? So, So if it's served to you like that, it's not to be dainty and like, oh, look at me, I'm so cute. It's like, dude, drink it. It's like, it's good. That one had like chewiness I always talk about. Man. So, man, we're going to do 3 drinks.
Cool.
You want to do,
So 7 total?
we might do 100 drinks.
Yeah, why not? I'm not stopping.
So let's do, will you do me a solid? Will you go get me one more rocks glass? Or not rocks glass, excuse me. Or yeah, give me a Mai Tai glass, which is this one. And then get me the highball glass, please. Thank you. So while he's doing that, we were going to do a cocktail called El Presidente. which comes from Cuba as well. It's pretty much a rum version of a martini. We have some beautiful rums. We have a 9-year and a 23-year from Panama Pacific. But the reason that we didn't do that is because I'm like, we're gonna do the Hemingway instead. And but we even have this vermouth that's supplied to that Kelly O'Hara from Victory Wine Group helped us get down here. That I'm really proud to have to make this beautiful expression, or the original El Presidente. But we decided to go the route of the Hemingway just because of the stories and everything. And also, I want to thank Jessica from Violet Crown Spirits for introducing me to that podcast we spoke of. And guess what? We're going to do a drink in her honor too. And also, if you guys like tiki drinks and stuff like that, and you want to do things with brandies and stuff like that, Brandy St. Louis is also a great thing to introduce her as well. Thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. Clover, why don't you come to the camera to say hi to everybody? Just like, guys, it's Clover. Always talking to him. He's our third man. Tom's on vacation, so we got him. He's doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, dude.
Appreciate it.
Get out of here. So, things are going on out there. Hope everybody's being safe and wear your mask. Let's get this over with. Just wear your mask. What's the big deal? Right?
Now be careful. You're getting into.
I know that feels like that's controversial. You can't even say that. Like, please wear your mask. Please, just wear them. Who gives it? I don't know. I honestly don't see the big deal in it. It's like, just wear your mask. I mean, I understand. It's like, you think that they're infringing on your rights now, dude? Just look at your freaking W-2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like, don't worry about. You're worried about a mask. Like they've been bending this over since the day we were born. So.
Don't get me started, man. You've heard me.
I feel like I said that just to see what you would do.
You've seen me go down this rant before. Let's.
Last time we were all together, we were drinking absinthe all night long. Y'all remember that? And if you don't,
it's okay because we don't either.
We didn't drive. Nobody that was drinking absinthe that night drove home, and also it was. Wow, that was an experience. So, speaking of which, let's do. Y'all want to do a Dr. Funk or the Golden Idol?
Either or, I've had neither.
Dr. Funk.
Yes, I'm so excited. A name like that has got to be good. Dr. Funk was created by Don the Beachcomber, I believe. Let's check it out. Doctor, A, B, C, D. Just kidding, it's right here. Douglas, you just saw it. That's me, Douglas. Wait, I just saw it. Oh, there it is. 266. Yes, please.
I still need to get that book.
Sir?
I still need to get that book. I got Imbibe. I just need to get that for my collection.
Which one did you get?
Imbibe by David Wondrich.
Oh, nice.
On Jerry Thomas.
Yeah. Do you have?
As far as cocktails, the Imbibe is the only one I have.
Oh, you don't have the Savoy?
No, I do not.
You need the Savoy, and then this is a great tiki cocktail. Tiki by Shannon Mustafer. This is a really great book. I use that recipe book a lot. I have Trader Vic's cocktail guide right here. Pretty cool. Trader Vic obviously is super important to rum.
Oh yeah, creative in my time.
Indeed. Oh, and I'm happy. Well, that's something we're going to celebrate a little bit. Everybody calm down. Don't want any trouble. All right. Trader Vic invented it. Sweet. Okay.
They had a lot of wars.
Do what?
They had a lot of arguments between each other about inventing certain drinks.
Well, there's one in particular. That's what we're going to talk about in a little bit. So we're going to talk about you can't talk about rum and you can't talk about tiki without talking about Don Beachcomber and Trader Vic. And I happen to love both of them dearly. And I wish I had. If I were to get face tattoos, it'd be Don Beachcomber and Trader Vic. But I have too much respect for my mom. Or what would you get tattooed on your face, Morgan?
I never thought about that before.
Oh, damn, I fucking slammed that Hemingway. I gotta walk home.
It's a short walk.
What am I doing?
Dr. Funk.
Oh, but we're doing my variation. This is the Dr. Funk burger. It's called the Dr. Funky Jones. So we're gonna do a 1/4 ounce of Demerara. Yahtzee.
Now I'm just picturing SoundCloud rap about rum.
Fresh squeezed lime juice, 1/2 ounce. Freshly squeezed lemon juice, baby. We're gonna do 1/2 ounce of that too. Boom. Eee. So, we go grab that. It's on the back shelf. It's the Jamaican Pot Still Black.
Awesome. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, thank you. And so from here, we're actually going to do a little bit of our house grenadine. So we did 1/4 ounce, so we're going to do a 1/4 ounce of the house grenadine as well. And so the house grenadine is going to be essentially pomegranate juice that we do a 2-to-1 ratio with white sugar, and then I steep it with pink peppercorns to give it a little more spice. And a splash of rose water. Whenever you use rose water, a little bit goes a very long way. So keep that in mind. And maybe we'll start doing syrup recipes too online. Who knows? So just a 1/4 ounce, not much. Will you grab me St. Arnie? Thank you, sir. So this is the pot still rum I was talking about, the black pot still rum. Is there any... Let's give you an idea of how dark this rum is. Is there something I could pour a dark rum into?
Do you want a coupe? Or you want to save that?
Yeah, give me a coupe. That's fine. Thank you, sir.
This is the last coupe. Though.
Oh, frick.
Want something else?
No, it's fine.
All right. Because I think we have some more chilled over next door.
No, it's fine. So this is, to give you an idea, the black rum. Like, it is black. And that's because they add that dunder we talked about earlier into it. That is such a beautiful rum. Oh, here you go. So, from here, we're going to use... I was going to use the macadamia in that one. The macadamia was extremely present in that last drink, so we're not going to do that. So, we're going to do 1.5 ounces. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, we have a house cocktail. We have a house cocktail called From the Depths, and it is black chaperon, creme de cacao, which is a chocolate liqueur from Tempest Fugit, and just spun real quick, and then topped off with Coca-Cola. It's one of the best It's technically one of our wells, but it is incredible. So from there, we are going to use the sponsor from our last virtual happy hour 2 weeks ago, Violet Crown Spirits Emerald Absinthe. And this is a very high proof. So a little bit goes, oh, it smells amazing. So we're just going to do a 1/4 ounce of this. There's nothing in there.
We got any more?
I think I took it home. I'm just kidding. There's something in here. Drink it all. See what you call that damn absinthe. What the frick? What the hell am I supposed to do now?
Is there anything we can substitute for? Or no? Do we have another high proof absinthe or no?
Not right now.
Have you lucid?
No. And I took the rest of my absinthe home for my own
Personal consumption.
for my own weirdo hour.
For recreational purposes.
God damn it!
Maybe another drink you can use that rum with. With the pasta.
We're just gonna do without it. So this is there'd be a bunch of absinthe in here right now. Oh, get that atomizer.
Oh, is it back there?
Yeah. It's like filled with the absinthe.
On the bar bar?
Yeah. I knew if I thought long enough, something would come to me. So let's go ahead and get some pebble ice in here. The show is off the rails. Whip shake. About 15 seconds. Put in Douglas. Hope everybody's having a great time. Hope everybody is safe at home, enjoying their families. Look at all this stuff. Oh my gosh. So quiet in here. Okie dokie. So, pack Douglas with ice. And then, typically you just be with soda water. But we're going to use St. Arnold's root beer, which is awesome. Just top it off.
Now we wait for the atomizer.
He's not going to find it. No big deal. So this is our Dr. Funky Jones, based off of Trader Vic's recipe, the Dr. Funk. Oh, we found it.
Well, I found these two.
Well, that one's hand sanitizer.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's it. So I typically, as you can see, I love absinthe, but I typically use like a 1/4 ounce in the recipe.
Yeah, keep that away from that open flame over there.
Watch out.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
So this is the Dr. Funky Jones, and I'm so excited. The hand's not the one you use,
Thanks for the Morgan. I got the last one.
All right.
dude.
I'm trying to pace myself.
That freaking. Thank you for getting that absinthe.
Yeah.
That emerald absinthe and that atomizer is even. Because like you and I love absinthe, so it's like so important.
There's so many things that it's hard to pick apart, but all of them awesome.
Yeah, I would never do that to your drink. I would never just be like, ooh, absinthe. Or maybe I would. I don't know. It just depends who you are.
Yeah, absinthe is a bit of an acquired taste.
Very
admittedly.
herbaceous, isn't it?
Yeah, and,
Absinthe?
Isn't it supposed to?
Here, come here. Open up. That's actually a great way to try absinthe the first time, just expressed over your palate.
Oddly enough, yeah, you're right.
Now I'm hooked.
Yeah, it's like
That's very.
that's actually a really good way to try absinthe because it's not like a shot.
Congratulations, you will now drop ridiculous amounts of money on bottles.
All right.
Oh, like it's like herbaceous. It's so like yeah, everybody's like so. The thing about absinthe, people are like, oh, it just tastes like black licorice. Like yeah, we know it's gonna be there. So like let's get past that threshold. What next? It's like cardamom. Oh yeah, good call. It's like oh, there's actually even elements of like vanilla in there. Like yeah, that's good. Bitter orange peel. And there's like yeah, I get that. And it's like the wormwood. It's like I never actually tried wormwood on its own, but I can imagine that it's there. And then from there, for me,
Bitter herbal, yeah.
yeah, but for me, I get a lot of chocolate. I get so much chocolate when it comes to absinthe.
I think I pick up more
I did on that
text,
one,
like
specifically.
chocolate in the texture than the actual flavor.
Fair enough. And it's high in proof, obviously. That's what is Emerald 126?
I think most absinthe
70. It's 70%, so it's 140 proof.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
140 proof, so it's super full flavor. Then it's also, but it's viscous, so it has like a lot of texture to it. That
Yeah.
chewiness we always refer to.
Isn't like 90 proof pretty much the low end for absinthe? If
I believe so.
remember correctly?
You want to finish that? Anybody want this root beer?
Oh, yeah, why not?
Yeah, and if you're going to use root beer, try to use like St. Arnold's. Typically, the recipe calls for a beta that I created, a beta root beer. But St. Arnold's is probably just as damn good.
I didn't know they made root beer. I love their beer.
Yeah, yeah. So, I really want to use this as a cup. So I'm going to do it real quick. I'm just going to make something real quick. Okay? Forgive me. Because after that, we have to make the crown jewel of Tiki Realm. So let's do one more drink, and then we're going to sign out. So 2 more drinks. So it's a little bit more of your time. Even if you're there or if you're not. Who knows? Who can say? Let's do a... Let's do a Naked Ape. Will you do me a solid?
Mm-hmm. Sure. It's my job.
Okay. Go on the back bar, get the creme de banane. And then there is a... If you see it while you're going through the bar, there is... Not that we're by the bar or anywhere near the bar. We're in a secret location. This is not the bar, just so you know. And so, you see a barrel of monkeys. Grab those 2. I have no idea where those are at. I just know there's a barrel of monkeys in the bar. But just hurry! So, when it comes to rum, the history of rum, we were talking about it. And the other really cool thing about rum is something that we're going to use in a little bit, this dry curacao. This is one of the best things to pair with rum. And there's the last recipe that we're going to go over after we do this drink is going to be about, this is going to be a crucial ingredient in it, but curacao is an island off the Caribbean chain as well. And dry curacao gets its name from that island. And apparently when Columbus and his men were coming over and his F-heads were coming over here and stuff. They were stopping on islands all over the way, and they would plant sugarcane and citrus. Citrus was to battle off scurvy. They're using Valencia oranges, which are like known to be succulent, deep, and full of flavor, and just like some of the best oranges you can get, apparently. But when I stopped at Curacao, it was so close to the equator, the groves grew, but the oranges were not good. They weren't edible. They were too bitter. They just weren't good. So they kind of just forgot about the island. So the people of Curacao realized that the peels of the oranges, excuse me, had a tremendous amount. So they started taking the peels of the oranges, and making liqueurs, and that's how dry Curacao was born. And so this is crucial for your back bar. Dry Curacao is... If you can't get dry Curacao, of course, use Combier. If you can't get Combier, use Cointreau. If Cointreau is too expensive, use...
Grand Marnier.
No, Grand Marnier is pretty expensive. So Grand Marnier is great too, but if you can't afford Grand Marnier or Cointreau, use...
Triple sec.
Triple sec is the bottom. What the hell do we always use? Grand Gala. Grand Gala. And if you don't want to spend money on Grand Gala, which is $21 a bottle, yeah, triple sec for sure. But you should always elevate your ingredients to make the best drink possible. No monkeys.
Didn't see it. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It was a very strange ask. But I assure you, I have it.
Well, I was either looking for a bottle that said that or a literal barrel of plastic monkeys.
Literal barrel of plastic monkeys.
Okay, I was looking for both. I didn't see either.
No, yeah.
I was like, this could go either way.
I had them because I was doing this drink for a Christmas menu, and I readjusted it, and I changed the rum portions with whiskey portions, and I also changed the citrus up a little bit, and then it turned into something I called it the caroling ape for our Christmas tiki menu.
That one was good. I remember that.
Yeah, and I would hang the barrel of monkeys on the side.
That's an interesting garnish. I like that.
Yeah.
Got weirdly quiet in here.
I know, it's so quiet.
Was it my comment on the monkeys?
Oh my god. Couldn't banana. So Tibbetts Fugit liqueurs, best of the best. It's exactly what they say it's in there. Just ripe bananas and high proof spirits. They dilute with sugar and water if they have to, and it is just done the old way, the old 20th century style of making liqueur. So it's not like the Cooper or whatever the hell they call it, where it's just full of like fake flavors and just it tastes like a banana runt, or banana flavored candy. This one's actually tastes like ripe, beautiful, ripe bananas. So we're gonna do ½ ounce. Super dark, viscous. It's definitely sweet, so a little bit goes a long way. We're going to use some lemon. Do 3/4 ounce of lemon. You know what? Now we're talking about that curacao so much. I think 1/4 ounce of curacao would be really nice in that too. Yeah, I think so. That way we don't have to add any extra sugar. Gonna do some pineapple. I don't know if we're gonna do pineapple. Let's see the original recipe asked for. I'm playing with it, obviously. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, naked ape. There it is. It really blows my mind that I graduated high school. Yeah, I'm pretty spot on. Just not using cinnamon syrup. And then we're gonna use we'll use the macadamia nut blackstrap rum that we made. 2.5 ounces. It does call for aged pot still rum from Jamaica. I would probably have used Smith and Cross. Whatevs.
You know you got a partial.
Hey, hand it over. ½ ounce of that. We take this away from me.
Yes. Put this in safekeeping.
All right, let's get this bad boy going. This is really the wrong drink to make for this cup because it's called the Naked Ape, and it should be like some big monkey tiki drink. But I just really wanted to pour some in there, and I want to do something we haven't done before. We didn't get our edible orchids in because it's been closed for so long, so an edible orchid would be perfect to hang from here, and that monkeys would be perfect to hang from. We're all doing something together. We're all creating this drink here and now. Like this whole garnish. I'm like, I can see the whole garnish. Can y'all see it? Use your use your imagination. Yes. This is great.
That actually fills that really nicely.
Oh my God. That monkey. Imagine a monkey hanging out right there. Fucking cute as hell. This place is so dang cute. Yeah, I'm so about this. Some bitters. Look at that.
What bitters did you use for that?
Angostura. Can you see it? That is adorable.
A bucket of monkeys.
Here you go, boys.
Oh, you're gonna be strong.
It is strong there. I changed it out. So, all right. So let's talk about. We're gonna do one more drink that I created, and then we're gonna talk about our last drink. So the next drink we're gonna do is the Golden Idol. So the Golden Idol, I'm gonna run through quickly. It needs more sugar.
I think it would grow on me after a couple of sips.
Well, I was going to say a little more dilution over time would be perfect, and then once the bitters hit it after the dilution on the top.
Mm-hmm. So, this drink I created called the Golden Idol. It's going to start off with the orgeat. Orgeat is the almond milk syrup that we make in-house. We make our own almond milk, and essentially just sweeten almond milk. So with a little bit of rose water, a little bit of orange bitters or orange blossom water. So let's do a 1/4 ounce of that. And if you live in the area and if you ever need these syrups, you don't know how to make them home or you don't want to make them, I'll happily supply you with them. And then from there, we're going to do a 1/2 ounce of freshly squeezed lemon juice. And then we are going to do 1.5 ounces of our pineapple, fresh squeezed pineapple juice. We typically use pineapple Amaro next, a bittered liqueur with like steeped in pineapple bark. But we don't have any right now because we didn't get it in time. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get some. Usually I use something called a Marlo della Sacra, made by a bunch of monks in the south of Italy. It's been made for years, since the 1800s, but we don't necessarily need it right now. So let's use about 5 dashes of the Dol de Graf's Pimento Dram, or bitters. Just give it some bitter element. And some deeper colors. So from there, and then from here we would use Plantation's pineapple infused rum. They infuse it with pineapple bark, but I actually made my own. Go ahead and grab that pineapple rum out of there. I made my own. I infused it with pineapple bark and cashew nuts, but then I sweetened it just to take the harshness away, and I think I overdid it, so I'm going to actually just use 1 ounce of our house. And then I'll use 1 ounce of the Plantation pineapple rum. Look how beautiful that is. Absolutely. So like when the rules of rum are really strange because it's more like the lack of the rules of rum. And the reason is because to make rum, you don't have to be in a specific place at a specific time, none of that stuff. Like it's just pretty much, as long as it's, the rules to rum are as long as it is made from sugarcane or the byproducts of sugarcane. That is the rules to rum. So you could get a rum that was made in Antarctica, Colorado, or the Caribbean, or even Russia. It doesn't matter. So that's the rules to rum. So with that said, though, it creates this opportunity to make tremendous rums, but at the same time, creates the opportunity to bastardize your rum or create a product that is less than now, if you will. So there are some places, I think Barbados claims that they won't add sugar to their rums. A lot of these places, like once it's distilled, that's it. No sugar is added. But then that's not, if they add sugar to the rum, that does not make it bad whatsoever. Like again, the Jamaican pot still rum, that blackstrap rum, they add Dunder to it to make it what it is. Alright, top it off with some crushed ice or pebble ice. Excuse me. Oh, nice that looks. And so from here, just put a paper straw in there. And that nutmeg. Freshly grated nutmeg. Where the frick? There you are. So let your wrist do the work. Don't move the nutmeg. You'll mess up your fingers and stuff, so just put it there in this and just right away. And that is the house cocktail, the Golden Idol. Oh, sorry. Let me try real quick. That's one of my favorite drinks. Something I'm quite proud of. Come to Hardwood, get yourself a Golden Idol, please. So, last drink to be made is something, if you've been to the Hardwood, you know how important this drink is to me. This last drink I'm making is a Mai Tai. Mai Tai was created by, the Mai Tai is the crown jewel of the Tiki realm. It's created by Victor Bergeron in 1944. You might know him better as Trader Vic. And the legend goes that he created this drink based off of a daiquiri variation with a little bit of orange liqueur, the dry curacao that we spoke of, and he handed it over to one of his Polynesian friends. When we took a sip of it, he proclaimed, Mai Tai Roai, which means out of this world. And that's how the story was born. You heard Clover mentioning earlier that he heard that there was a rivalry between him and Don the Beachcomber, which is absolutely true. Don the Beachcomber, hands down, created Tiki. Victor Bergeron, Trader Vic, has openly said, I tried to take everything knowledge-wise from Don the Beachcomber. He is my mentor, my icon, and he didn't even like me. He is known for saying that. And he thanks him all the time for giving him the inspiration to start Trader Vic's. And Don the Beachcomber was just a crotchety old man at the time. He's kind of like me. Fun to be around and like to party and stuff, but there's always one or two that just gets on your damn nerves. And so, but Trader Vic loved him from a distance. Trader Vic had a bar called Hinky Dinks in Oakland, California. He heard about a guy in Hollywood doing these crazy things referred to as tiki, so he freaking busted down there. Just stayed there for months and just like pretty much studied and tried to learn and try to take the recipes from Don the Beachcomber. Don the Beachcomber didn't even make his drinks in front of the people. He had 4 guys in the back that referred to as the 4 guys that would make these drinks. And so Trader Vic tried to learn, and then Don was like, get the hell out of here. Kicked him. He was so inspired. I mean, Trader Vic had one leg. He was like this whole character, and he like went back, changed the name of his bar, his restaurant from Hinky Dinks to Trader Vic's, and just started hanging things on the wall, all this memorabilia, and started working on his drinks. Trader Vic swears that he created the Mai Tai on his own, which I believe. Don the Beachcomber says that he stole that he refers to as the QB cooler. So I have had a QB cooler, and the Mai Tai recipe and the QB cooler are vastly different. But I can understand why Don Beach would think that. So Don Beach is Don Beachcomber, his real name is actually Ernest Raymond Beaumont Gant. He is from Texas. He was born in North Texas and Limestone County, and Limestone County, like Mexico. There's Mextica town. I can't remember. But anyways, and so he has like a lot. I've always kind of admired this man that's been gone for years because like this is like weird universal connection. But anyways, we are going to make the Mai Tai. Again, this is a daiquiri variation that's created in 1944. And we are going to say that was created by Victor Bergeron, better known as Trader Vic. And the first thing you're going to need is the almond syrup that we were talking about earlier that we refer to as orgeat. So it's French, and there's a T at the end, so it's actually pronounced orgeat. You would say orgeat if the next word started with a consonant. So you would say orgeat and then pull it over. But if you're just saying orgeat, just the word, it'd actually be orgeat. But you say orgeat. It's not orgeat. It's not orgeat. It's orgeat or orgeat. We're going to do a heavy 1/4 ounce. Sometimes we steep it we put a little bit of Demerara sugar in there just to give it a little more depth. But we're going to try to celebrate the original right now. And then from then, we're going to do 3/4 ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice.
Tim Dodge says the county is pronounced Mejia.
Say it again. Mejia. What the hell? Why can't I say that? Mexica? Why did I say Mexica? What an ass. I just blew it. So, dry curacao that we always talk about. Hey, Tim. We're going to do a heavy 1/4 ounce of this. So the original rum, look at that going. The original rum was Jay and Ray and Nephew, excuse me. Ray and Nephew, their 17-year-old bottle of Jamaican rum. That's what they originally used. That doesn't exist anymore. Matter of fact, the last barrel was sold like in like the late or in the early 2010s, like 2012, for like the last few ounces was sold for like $1,200 to make the last Mai Tai with the original barrel. And the guys that was in Ireland, and the guys that sold that drink took that money and put it into opening the Dead Rabbit in New York. So, fun fact. So, just to honor that, we're gonna just change it up a bit. I mean, I know that Martin Kate uses a darker rum in his, so we'll just use a little bit of Ray and Nephew. Our original Mai Tai actually is Panama Pacific, and then we split it with a few different types of rums from there. But we'll just do we'll do 1.5 ounces of gold rum from Ray and Nephew, just to honor the original recipe somewhat. Whoops. And then just to give it that Jamaican funk, we're going to go ahead and do some overproof. We're going to do a 1/2 ounce. This is going to be a very strong drink. 1/2 ounce of Rum Fire. And then from here, we're going to shake this bad boy up. A little bit of shake ice, a little bit of agitator ice. Just change it all up. Lock that up. If you've been in the hardwood, you're familiar with these glasses, are Mai Tai glasses. About 10 seconds. Look at that candle go. Yeah, that is cold. Woo. Look at that. No hay straw, so just use a long straw, screw it. Right there. Some mint. So, the original recipe calls for mint garnish with a lime husk on there. Lime husk represents an island. Mint represents a palm tree. And that's what you hand over. Like there's some recipes. We definitely add some bitters to it. Let's get a little more color, a little more depth. So this is a Mai Tai, and this is the crown jewel of Tiki Realm, which celebrates rum. And I want to thank you guys again for coming back and hanging out with us. We are back. Please, if you would be so generous and help us out, keep this alive. The hardwood is going to be back with to-go food soon. We are sad that we can't invite y'all back in. I want to thank Morgan so much from Gulf Breeze Winery for helping out, and Clover, my third man, for helping us out.
You did all the work. I don't know what you're thanking me for.
Oh, you got to do something. I mean, I don't know. So, I miss you guys tremendously. I miss y'all so much. And thank y'all so much for the support and the love and all the great wishes and the great vibes and the good thoughts and the prayers, everything. So, tomorrow, please celebrate World Rum Day and have a drink, have a daiquiri, have a Mai Tai. Just drink straight rum. Do what you can. Say what you will. Cheers, y'all.